pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Call meeting to order. Motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I read and I'll approve the minutes for October 8th.
And all second. Okay, any discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Okay, meetings ten, please.
We had a public health meeting. Nothing really too earth shattering, is pretty much business as usual. The mosquito thing is over. And they'll know the details of that here in the next month or so. Yeah, that was really not a big deal. Went pretty quick. I made a phone call to Thomas Miller, the gentleman that was going to purchase Woodland Trailer Court. And come on in. And asked him, hadn't heard anything. They withdrew their offer on the Woodland Trailer Court. He told me that the current owner was not completely truthful with the total income that was coming in. He was falsifying some records, and that was the deal breaker. They are still interested, but of course there's not much that we can do as supervisors other than make sure that the current owner is doing his job. And so we're going to look into that and make sure that Brian T was working on some things out there off that too. So anyway, it's not dead, but it's not being purchased immediately. And then I had a couple of phone calls to Red Lion. They have approval from REC on the solar project at the complex and jail. They'll be starting on those immediately. Hopefully have that done before it gets too cold. They did ask, they hadn't seen the signed contracts. I know as a board we approved them. So would you talk to Felina and check to make sure it gets signed and sent to them?
Yep.
Okay. I did get a bunch of emails from Alliant Energy. It passed the first stage of engineering, and then it goes to another department and they drag their feet a lot. So it's hopefully in the next month or so we have approvals on the rest of it. So that's all I had.
Well, the complex would be the most important, I think, because it's mainly electricity out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the courthouse probably draws quite a bit of power too, maybe, but I'd say that's probably our biggest one, yeah, by far. So hopefully by the end of the year, that'll be up and going, so.
That's what we got. But I had no meetings. I had Southeastern Regional Planning. That's going pretty good. They came up with some opportunities, and I checked with the city. I think Brett was on there also with the about the old come and go P&P. They did stuff for gas things, so but that's going forward and looking good. Getting that
Cleaning that up.
also had a Eastern Iowa Port Authority meeting in Moline, 3 or 4 hours, but it's good. Just getting kicked off. We got another meeting in November. I think it's going to be good. There's a lot of opportunities. Like I said, we're just getting started, but there's housing opportunities, all kinds of economic for local, even away from the river. There's possibilities of stuff that we can do in that county. Like I said, we're just getting into it. We're starting to get the soils. Start cutting some trees and what we can get done and what we have to do. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's going to take a while to get this thing out and going. But it's going to be based basically on how we set up the public meetings and stuff. For Iowa workforce is gonna have that type of setup. We're gonna have a group of people from each county that make up for public, and then have input, and then have the supervisors, CEOs kind of overlooking it, and we'll help them with fundings and getting fundings and stuff like that, but it's gonna take some time to get that thing going.
Maybe the federal government can put us a ferry service in.
You think so?
That's about the one thing our county can get, can it?
Well, there's a lot of railroad stuff that they have opportunities with, and also too, it's tied in with DOT, the rivers are, other opportunities to get some highways done, the infrastructure, so it's not just, we all think it's
More
not.
to it,
It's-
okay.
It's just a gathering, so. But we have another meeting coming up, but if you don't want to get the LP kind of signed, I did talk to them. They got a company gonna give us some bids. This is gonna be, the painting will take place next spring.
Okay.
But there's gonna be a lot of work coming up. Get that thing done, so.
Okay.
I thought it was just gonna be, but they're gonna have to change a lot of the safety valves and stuff that they don't make parts for it, so. Other than that, you guys got anything else? How about out here, anything?
Brad, you can remind them that we've got a bridge in Louisa County, a railroad bridge, if that can help you, any port authority, so. If that can be utilized somehow,
I know he's talking about conjunction, but.
no. One that goes to Keysburg down by Oakville,
Oh.
the bridge to nowhere.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, we've got an HR person. When do they show up here and have office hours, and how come they never report to the board?
Reports to the board when he comes down, he was just down there the other day.
But he didn't report anything, just look at the side of contract for another year.
Yeah, but there's some things he can't report to us.
Well, we could report activity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, what are we paying for?
We're paying for somebody to protect things that.
How often is that used?
Can be used a lot.
Oh, I didn't say it could be, how often is it used?
A year ago, it was used a lot.
Well, he's also on call when.
Yeah.
Kind of
It's not just,
proverbial crap.
straight-
So he never comes in and reports anything to the board like the other departments do.
there's things he can't report.
A lot of it's kind of HIPAA related and.
Well, I know that, I mean, I understand that.
We get correspondence from him via email when some things go sideways.
So is it worth $20,000?
Absolutely.
He's very instrumental in helping us hire what will soon will be our next appraiser.
You know, I'm on the board for civil service to hire the deputies, and I never hear anything from him. We never hear anything from him, but so, anyway.
Anything else? Okay, payroll changes I sent around.
Mhm.
Everybody had a chance to see them?
Yep.
Okay. Mike Bailey.
Hey, Brian Hudson, Kate Banworth from iBailey. We're here this week working on the financial statements. I just kind of wanted to stop in and say hello and make sure you knew we were here. Brad, I believe you're the chair now, so if you have time after the meeting to stop, we're over in the auditor's
Yep,
office.
I'd like to talk to you if you think.
Yep, that would be great.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's kind of all we have.
Will we have a face-to-face after you get all your findings done?
We typically do not do that. So far, things are going well. I don't really see there being any big changes with any of the findings.
Okay, if there is, can we talk?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Great. When will we receive the report?
Typically, we shoot for December.
Okay.
The accrual AFR is due to the state December 1st. And at that time, we have to lock in 95% of the balances.
Okay. That's when we get our little a little book or whatever you get.
Yep,
you make
and then, those 5%, sometimes there's delays.
Yeah.
But typically we shoot for December, sometimes it ends up in May.
Okay, great.
Sounds good. Yeah, thank you for coming down too. I think that's important that we get some, people on the ground here, and I think it really is. I really appreciate that. I know it's the way it used to be done, and then COVID came, and then we started doing everything, and I think boots on the ground is always better.
Yeah, it's been a good trip.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming.
That's all.
Okay, thanks.
Have a good meeting.
Yep, good to see you, Brad.
Hey, Bobby's. You guys got any questions you'd like to ask?
Yeah, not off the top of my head right.
If you think of write it down.
Okay,
Make sure.
right. I'm more interested in just seeing the report, I guess, more than anything. The report generally spurs questions,
She probably just has it on.
We can do the sheriff's first quarter report. Let's do that. We'll just get some stuff out. Fine. I see the ambulance claims are.
Yeah, they went through.
I like to read them. And you ready for the number? 301 456 74. Okay, thanks.
You want to make a motion on the report?
Do it, please.
I'll make a motion to.
Well, we don't need a motion, we just review
Yeah,
that.
you go.
Okay,
It doesn't need
Intensive
sign.
review. Yeah.
fair enough.
Bobby had to get out and then get back in, so I'll wait until she's having technical issues.
So with this realignment, how is this affecting her?
This is probably all the last time.
Last one?
Yeah.
Because those other people
Well,
were here.
They're gonna take it
Take
over
over.
in June. Yeah, when she reported a few months ago, next June,
Of next year.
yeah, she don't know what she'll be doing. Everybody comfortable with claims?
I haven't quite finished them yet. I like to do that.
Jacob, you want to go ahead? Check. Get you out of here.
I'm gonna stay for the land hearing anyway, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're on a monthly
Correct,
update too.
2 items, but I'm gonna stay for the whole thing, so I'll go ahead and give it though, give it to.
Go ahead, please.
Alright, so. Chicken Bluffs, we had some of that vandalism that was happening. Update on that, we installed 2 security cameras, one in the parking lot and one in the main area, kind of looking at the lodge or the shelter. That way we can catch whoever was stealing our lights and whatever else they're gonna be doing. Just putting that, getting that up is, it's a good, big peace of mind thing. Our school field trips are in full swing. Lana is in and out every morning and she rolls back in at quitting time and then does all the same thing the next day again. So her and Sarah both are just going at it. We are selling some surplus equipment on November 4th. It's an old tractor, a 3-point sickle mower, an old Dearborn box blade, stuff that hasn't been touched for quite some time. It's posted in the paper, we did a Facebook post on it, so people should know about it. Wilson Prairie, we had some donation for some signs to go around the whole thing. Those signs are basically done in the design process. Lana and Sarah, our naturalists, they are the ones that designed them and they did an excellent job. They worked very many hours on doing it. We're in the review process, I'm nitpicking every single little thing that could possibly be wrong with it and throwing it back at them and they say, yeah, keep going. But yeah, in between all their schoolwork, so they're hammering that one out. Eden Park, we are going to look into getting some disc golf courses set up there, or just one. The board approved it, I think, 2 years ago or something, and then just got a little backburnered, and then, but we're trying to bring it back, and we've got some funding to do it, so. We're really excited to get that going, maybe get a full to that park, other than the awesome playground equipment that's there too, so. Yeah, really excited about that.
How's that holding up? I went by there, I was gonna stop by and.
Yeah, great.
Good.
Everything that's in there is all wedge anchored into concrete and it's at least 4 inches thick, so.
It's taking a while.
Yeah, oh yeah, and the grass it's popping up in a little bit of areas, but I think they said it's expected, it's just around each equipment, so. But the ropes and stuff are just as taut as when we
Good.
install them, so.
Okay, good.
I'm surprised how much it's being used.
Oh, yeah, it's,
I was reluctant to think that it was gonna get used, but every time I go by there, there's people there.
2 cars there.
yeah, absolutely, it's very, very used. Yeah, I think a lot of the Columbus, Washington, that area, is a good place to go
There you
out.
go, get away.
I'm gonna put a little plug in for our Halloween event coming up at Virginia Grove. It's in place of the Halloween hike. It's similar, but a little different this year. Instead of a hike with skits, we're going to have all the campers that are there decorate their whatever they have, tents, RVs, whatever it is. And then they're gonna go trick or treating, the children and everybody else that wants to. You can go trick or treating around the campsites. So it'll be a really fun event for everyone. I think Muscatine does it this way, and so it's just a transition period. It's a lot less labor intensive for us, and it's still just as fun for everyone else. We're gonna have trick or treating, a luminary trail hike, or s'mores, and they can learn about nocturnal animals in all the trails and around everything. Any questions? I've got one. You said the solar panels are good to go. Where are they at?
He was gonna email me an updated picture and I don't know that I received that, but as soon as I'll ask him, as I get it, I'll let you know.
I'm just curious.
They've moved them several times. I do believe they're on the east side of the jail,
Okay.
northeast corner of the jail. But I will verify
Yeah,
that.
all good.
That was the last conversation that I had.
I didn't get a,
I'm good on
I can
that.
stamp that one, if you want to stamp with that.
Yeah, why don't you just stamp one of those? Yeah,
Yeah, I think that.
yeah, otherwise I'll have to let us come back over again, just do that.
I'm okay on the claims, Chris. If you want to make a motion.
Did you done, Jacob?
Yeah,
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve the claims for $301,456.74.
I'll second that.
The only question I had was the morning sun ambulance, I see that was 6,577. And that's normal, that's just higher than, and the rest of them are.
I think you'll have some months that are a little higher and lower, though. It'll be a wave kind of a thing.
Because the Wise County ambulance was lower than they normally
They-
get.
They were exceptionally low. I'm not sure why they
Yeah,
didn't
it
turn
just
in more.
Shocked
but
me when we was paying them a lot more.
I looked through the claims and all the stuff that they turned in was valid.
Okay.
So I had no reason to deny that.
I just asked my question.
Yeah,
There was a big
I know,
difference.
I saw it too.
Okay, any more questions? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. You ready, Bobby?
Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Sorry about that. I was having some problems getting in. So I'll make mine quick. I see you have a large agenda. So the last couple of months with the Mental Health and Disability Services region, some actions that we have taken are to complete a resolution in regards to the attorney fees that were implemented with the change of the Iowa code. So we went ahead and passed that resolution to increase those fees for mental health commitments to $76 per hour. We also had a RFP out for the ACT, which is Assertive Community Treatment Program Services. We had several responses for that, and we went through that process. And the governing board approved a contract with Elevate on October 9th in order to solidify a contract with them in order to begin providing those services in the counties of Des Moines, Henry, Lee, Louisa, and Washington. We do have another provider in our region who provides those same services to the other counties that are incorporated in our region. So we are fully covered with those services. We're really excited to get that started. We've had conversations with the hospital and all the other partners that we're involved with the region to let them know about those services. They may be an alternative to individuals who need and require that type of a service that may be coming out of the hospital or maybe to prevent them from going into the hospital. So we're really excited to get that started. The timeline for that, currently they're onboarding staff and they will be going through the process with the MCOs or managed care organizations to get certified. And then hopefully they'll be able to begin onboarding clients. December 1 is the timeline. And they will do that in a tiered fashion in order to bring clients in an organized fashion to that program. So we're really excited about that. Do you have any questions about that program? It's okay. We also have a contract now with First Resources to provide an additional, we call it an IRSH home, which is an intensive residential service home. We currently have one in Burlington, and we put out an RFP so that we could expand those services in our region. Happy to say that First Resources was able to locate a house for that home in Ottumwa, and they are having an open house on November 1st from 1 to 3 for anybody to join and take a look at that program, and then they will begin onboarding clients into that program as well. The one in Burlington's been very successful. It's been full, so we're happy to have another one on the other side of the region to help fulfill the needs of the clients that we serve. Other than that, all the contracts we've reviewed and completed for this fiscal year, which will end June 30th. There are still 2 contracts out there that I'm waiting back for signature by the providers. But other than that, we are good to go, ready to continue our year. Services really haven't changed much from last year, so we're happy to report that. And we will carry those contracts out through June 30th. I guess the only other real thing to report, we do have a couple people on the MHDD commission. They will be there will be an annual report that will be submitted to HHS. And so they are providing input into that report, which will be helpful. That communicates some of the conversations that we've been having at our local stakeholders and advisory boards in regards to the needs of the system. So also, we received a regional operational guidance. We receive those every so often from HHS, and those those provide the regions with guidance as to how to move forth with the regional system and transitioning. And I believe you guys are, the boards, all of the boards in our counties are receiving all of our minutes and handouts that we have at all of our governing board meetings. So you'll be getting all of those handouts and minutes that come out after the meeting for your review.
Good idea.
So I think that's about it for, in a nutshell, for MHDS. Things are going well.
Great.
Until,
You have any questions?
no, it's, once you finally get things settled out, then the state's gonna reorganize it all in another 6 months.
June 30th.
Yep, yeah.
We will do our due diligence to work to transition the process as for the people that we serve the best that we can.
Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the update. Cindy, you got anything to add on anything?
Mental health or general.
Oh, well.
No,
I don't have anything to add, no,
okay.
no. I'm still working with them and
Yep.
doing everything like we normally do, so.
It's gonna be different. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good week.
You too.
So for general assistance, the mobile food pantry takes place next week, October 23rd. They did run out of food super early last month, and so they're upping the amount this month. We'll see how that goes. The average for our local food pantry, for September, we had 40 households, that was 106 individuals. So just to give you some comparison for our local food pantry in 2023, last year, we averaged 29 households. 22, we averaged 25 households. 21, we averaged 18 households. Right now, through September, we're averaging 37 households.
Wow.
So pretty big jump through the years. Phone and foot traffic for September, we had 55 phone and 18 foot. I attended and was on the committee for the Iowa General Assistance Retreat that took place in Johnston, Iowa on September 24th. It was very well attended. And today I will meet with the Iowa Community Services Association for the directors. They're discussing possibly having the general assistance as a part of the spring school. And so there's some pros and cons to it. And so I'll meet with that board today and we'll just kind of discuss it and see if that's something that we should do, or if we should keep general assistance as a one-day retreat annually. The Salvation Army kettles go out into, most of them are out in the community already. They went out this week, and I have one more to put out into the community. And then they will stay in the community until the 1st of January. So hopefully the funds coming in will grow, and those funds are used throughout the year to help anybody with any kind of disconnection, eviction notices, any kind of need that they might have where another program isn't able to assist in that situation. The Christmas wish tree is, sign up begins October 28th. So at the end of this month, we'll begin that program with sign up and put that into process. Later this week, I have a meeting with our local food pantry for the Christmas food baskets. And so we'll get all the details ironed out for that and get that beginning. For September, we had 3 notice of decisions approved and 2 of them were denied for various reasons. And that pretty much wraps up our office for the month. Any questions?
I saw that on our claims that we had some rent payments to.
Yep,
Particular-
we did. We had some eviction notices come through. And so, yeah, we were able to assist with, you might have seen a previous one, I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but, yeah, we had 2 come through. with
It would have been
rentals.
September rent,
Yeah.
says here. So how often are they able to apply for rent assistance?
For rent assistance, it'd be just once a year, and so, we can only approve 1 month's rent. And that's only if it will bring them current and it will keep them from being evicted for 30 days. And so we chat with the landlord and we chat with the clients and see where everything's at and go from there.
Yeah,
It's very similar with utilities. If they'll stay connected for 30 days. And then depending on their household, if somebody in the household, I mean, there's different guidelines that we go through, but if they've been fired or quit a job, then they're not qualified. It's very tight guidelines, I
Yeah.
would say. But we have other programs that we can reach out to, and that could be Salvation Army, Ministerial Association, Community Action. And stuff.
I have no problem with the renter needing assistance. It was just the landlord is the one that piqued my interest.
But yeah, I put no, I mean, every landlord's treated the same.
I understand that.
You still in the housing authority board also too, or you?
Yeah. Yep, we actually meet today.
Yeah, it's a great help with people that.
Yeah, we're always, doing applications for the, rental assistance. Right now, they're 5 to 6 months out, so it's quite a wait time. So if somebody needs help today, I'll get them that application, we'll get that turned in, but, it puts them on a waiting list for 5 to 6 months, and so, yeah.
I went down and talked to her the other day and
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to find her in that office.
Yeah,
No,
but
so
he's doing a great job.
he
so,
is. I like
yeah,
talking
he's
to
at
her.
Mary's place and he's done very well.
she's thinking outside the box. Yeah. Yeah, Mary Gates did it for a long time, so. Anything else?
Nope, any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
Adam, good morning.
Morning.
Out in the world today,
Um,
on the MediaCom, cable education.
yeah, they're actually out there last week and we're working on it and called them up. What are you doing? And they said, well, we have an emergency repair. I said, oh, what kind of emergency repair? Well, somebody was out mowing, it wasn't us, and mowed over a box and it messed up their system. And I said, okay, you're gonna fix the box? They're like, well, we got to bore 500 feet. I'm like, hold on.
Yeah, wait, back up.
This is an emergency. Yeah, we will approve it, but you gotta go through the process here, so. So, anyway, this is out on X37, it's just, replacing an existing one, so. Nothing too major on it, so.
Can I get a motion on that?
I'll make a motion that we approve MediaCom's application to repair fiber on the south side of County Road X37.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. So you just happen to drive up on them. Surprising.
What's that?
Hey, what do you got going on?
Maintenance wise, we are doing some, that's kind of our last day of concrete patching, we're doing some out there on the golf course road. That bridge, east of Heritage Oaks, we got some spots where water's running down the road and running in between the pavement and the bridge, so we're gonna pour some shoulders there and drain it off to the side, so that'll be our last concrete work this year. We have a house east of there that when we relocated the road, the engineer before me or before him or whatever, made an agreement to maintain a access over a box there. And we got a deal where the water comes in and it swirls around the roads. 8-10 years ago, we tried to fix it and it didn't really work with it. So we have talked to the landowner, just gonna relocate that driveway onto his property and kind of give him a pipe and all that, but that would end our involvement with it, so. Got that going on. Once we get done with that, we're probably gonna be hauling rock pretty hard for the next few weeks. Hope to get up to about half of our haul rate. before, for the middle of November, so. We always try to do that so we can buy as much rock as we can in this year's cost versus next.
Maybe we'll go out next year.
Maybe, we usually get a 50 cent a ton increase in rock, so if you buy, if you put down, well, if we put down 70,000 tons, then half of it after the winter, we save 17 or 18,000 bucks, so anyway, we're trying to get that done. Justin and Mike are at the Highway 92 meeting, which is right now up in Columbus Junction. The DOT is paving up there. It's not going as fast as they thought. There was a wreck up on X17 last week. Rollover was probably due to shoulders. I know the Washington County engineer is also pushing them too, so after I get back, I'm gonna jump in on that meeting and see what's going on there, so.
There's a lot of trucks.
A lot of trucks, well, now you have tractors and combines and all the implements there that really makes it a mess, so.
And they're getting gravel Currup in Johnson County, Currup. I don't know if they're going above the 80. I met a few trucks on gravel pups.
Yeah,
They're hauling gravel a long ways away.
I mean, yeah, I don't know for sure, so.
It's gotta be state approved.
Yeah,
They just can't get it out of any quarry.
yeah, well, the quarry here, Columbus does have the approved rock, but I don't know if they have enough, or they can make it fast enough, or I don't know. It's exactly how that works, so. So, anyway, that's going on. Other than that, we're out mowing and blading and brush cutting and things like that. Making some plans for some winter projects, like cutting trees and things like that. I'm working on an application for a raise grant, which is a federal grant that comes through the state. Last time we applied to get some work done in Grandview, but we were not in the top half, so. I'm gonna try
Out of poverty. Is that decided on that?
that area was disadvantaged, and it didn't really help us out that much, so. I'm gonna try to include the city of Oakville, work on that, and just some of our 99 work, and we'll see what happens. I mean, it's not thinking we're gonna get it, but never hurts to apply. It's free.
Somebody's gonna get it.
Yeah, so.
Might as well get us.
The criteria and a lot of those are pretty not easy to define, so you put it in and do the best you can. We'll see what happens there, so. Other than that, I have a few meetings here this week, and yes, that's our what's going on secretary. Any questions for me?
Thank you. Thanks. Brian, Roger, who all you expecting to come in?
Brian and I.
That's it?
I think.
You guys want to go and get started then?
Sure. Go ahead, Brian.
You can take most of it. I'll just give you guys this. This is the split. There's the flat. This kind of shows what they're taking, so they're going into this parcel, which is already been split once. And take it down here. What's been approved by everybody, this little L.
Does that
Yep.
help? That might help.
Yeah.
There is a. That's like an L, that's the whole piece
whole
right
piece.
now. It's owned jointly by Tim Heindel and Jay Heindel. And they're splitting up some properties, some taking some farmland and some taking some timber. The actual subdivision is just one lot of little L, be right there. Okay, does that help, Sean? Oh, yeah, that's got it for you. So they're just kind of splitting that, I think, because this L piece is gonna go over here and this one's going there.
Okay.
And there's access off the county road. Yeah, this is county.
And that's where Jay lives.
Yes, that's where Jay lives, and I think this isn't this Dan Heinz?
Dan.
Up in that corner, and that's the only reason for the subdivision, it creates 3 parcels out of
Right,
that,
right.
out of that quarter. So that's kind of what they're doing there. And the county road runs, there's there, but the county road, there's also a county road up there, so everybody's got access.
It's all our.
Yep.
We'll make a motion to approve battleground subdivision.
Actually, I think it's called Heindel.
All of this is in battleground.
I think it was at the old one.
The old one might be the old one?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
called
Yeah,
Heindel subdivision phase 2.
okay.
Do something.
Yeah,
That's looking.
well, I think that was.
Well, I'm looking at that there.
Wasn't that before the surveyor knew what they were gonna call it, and I think he
Call out the resolution number.
was pulling a little joke
Yeah.
on.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 202436, handle phase 2 subdivision.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Can I do it up there?
That actually,
I think I'll probably.
yeah, right there, I'm sorry. I was
Just
just
if I do it up there.
He's gonna get you. Yeah.
I like that. I was-
We didn't have room to talk about it. We had one.
The application for the
There's
one
not
up.
change the name.
Some county line.
Well, that's it.
I'll wait.
Yeah, it'll have to go.
Issue.
I'll bring it over, because I have that other one.
Let's go.
That we haven't got.
Okay, so have Brad sign it.
Yeah.
And then.
Yep.
Stays behind it, so.
Well, the signing copy. On the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah. He's on. Okay, I should tell you, I don't want this, oh, screw it. It's got the wrong name. Thank you, Brian. Yep.
Thank you.
Oh. Give me a call.
Thanks, Brad.
You betcha, thank you.
Have a good day.
You do.
Officer, you got, you want to talk.
How about you?
Ball games? Yeah, it's 9:35, we have to wait at that time, so.
Open up
I have to move in.
Yes.
Sean has an initial.
Yeah,
That's all I think I was trying to say.
Right.
I'm sorry. We got that a couple meetings ago, so we'll make sure we stay on it.
That is signed, and then you put it on that.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I should have put by that. I think.
Okay, and with that, I'll have to work it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I thought she gave me my copy.
And that's, and it looks just about the same, so thank you.
Thanks again, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We've got all kinds of meetings. You get your early. Usually the same day as community action.
I'll be there the rest.
No, they're not doing one in meeting in October. They're doing some committee meetings, so there's no meeting today or this month.
He's gonna open that, you know?
Well, the last people, the one I heard on the highway, last people that owned it was, I think it was Mo's Mart.
Yeah.
And I talked to Brett the other day about it, and right now the company's just clearing all the stuff out to comply with the city's dangerous building ordinance. They're in negotiations with the state right now about the tank. I don't know if they have an official opening time, but he said things are kind of moving.
Well, that's what he kind of said.
So.
I didn't know if you knew a company here.
I thought I was having it here.
Shame that, so.
It was something. He said there was bags of potato chip bags there that looked like they were full. We picked them up and there was nothing.
Incinerated.
The mouse had chewed and got into the bag, ate all the chips and then exited out the
So
hole.
the mice are
So there
about
was nothing in the bag. It was horrible. At least was fully stocked.
Yeah, I watched you do it.
They ate
twice.
all of it.
They brought pop in just a couple of years ago. They took all the old pop out, put new pop in. That's when they put all the canopy and stuff in.
All the candy bars were gone. All
Probably full stuff.
It was, I saw pictures, it was disgusting.
Well, they filled that dumpster.
And then some.
I don't know if they'll build all that.
Didn't they
they-
stock it in time for this solar project and then never opened up?
It was about that same time. It was when they did this one, yeah.
Yeah. So that's how long it's been sitting on the shelves for the life teams.
Yeah, it's a nice building.
Well, to comply, I think they needed to go in and take a lot of the wall coverings and stuff off too, because it was all mold. A lot of the drywall had to come off. They had to strip it to nothing. Buildings don't like to be,
That gotta have air. Huh? You can get by without heat a lot of times, but during the summer.
I wish they just keep their lawn cleaned up a little bit. It's obvious it's abandoned when you drive by. I don't wanna be the first person to get fuel out of them barrels. That fuel's been in there a little while. I don't care how much you suck it out, there's still stuff at the bottom.
I got a feeling.
Or the last 100 gallon off the bottom. Even worse, yeah.
It's cheaper to put above ground tanks in,
That's why the elevator did it.
because put it underground.
Well, I don't know, where would they have the space to do that?
I don't know. That place in Burlington makes some underground tanks, but they sure move a lot of them out. Yeah, that would be nice to get that back going.
It would be nice. Yeah. There any movement over in Grandview to get the downtown cleaned up? Somebody said something about.
There was an excavator in a couple weeks ago that cleaned up the post office full portion.
That's good.
I'm sure the federal government probably did that.
Oh, yeah, because the post office.
Yeah, and I heard right after it burned that, one of the guys that this family owned it. That they had to come in and see the safe was still in the basement. The desk, all the boxes, see how it's all federally owned property, and they had to come in and salvage that stuff. And even though it's,
Junk,
yeah,
yeah,
and they had cleaned out the safe the night of the fire.
right,
But, they still
had to get it.
had to get it.
Hmm.
And they cleaned it up nice, and they have cleaned the sidewalk around the rest of it some, I guess the owner of the other property that's still got a few walls there, he's going to get certified for asbestos abatement. And,
We can-
It's that-
they'll have to hire somebody that,
Yeah,
to clean it up.
yeah.
I don't know. Making a little bit of progress.
How long's that been? Few years now?
23. Yeah, I think it's 3.
Be nice to see somebody clean it off and put something back there.
One time the city, it was talk that the city take it over because they didn't think he was gonna do anything with it. And make it like a green space out of it, like a down, make a green space out of it. And there's been discussion about new city hall. It pays a lot of taxes. I don't know.
Green space in Grandview, Iowa. I thought it was all green space.
Especially since the tornado, but the park turned into a beautiful, from a beautiful park into a lot of green space.
Yeah, it took a lot of trees down, didn't it? Yes.
And they planted a lot of trees.
It's bouncing back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And, they have a really nice shelter house
Yeah.
there.
It doesn't look like a tornado hit it anymore. You can't really tell.
I guess we're getting some more park equipment. It looks good. They've done good.
Yeah.
For a small community, they've done really good. Yeah. It's like Oakville, some of their stuff looks really good too. And Bob and Marilyn Schultz was, big in the shelter house and they donated a lot of the money for that. It's nice to have those people around and do that.
Yeah. Kind of a catalyst to make things work.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Elon's rocket come back and it got captured? That was amazing.
It amazed a lot of people.
I mean, for their rockets to come back and land on their own, it's one thing, but to come back and hover and let that thing capture it.
And it even had problems and it captured it.
That is something.
We will be on Mars, I think.
That is great.
We'll get a lot of benefit from that too. A lot of it.
Well, they said that as soon as they got NASA out of government's hands and into private sector, you'd see leaps and bounds, and they were right. Got through all that red tape. Private sector.
Yeah. I think there's still people trying to anchor him back a little bit in the government. I think that's due to association.
It's 9:35. I'm gonna make a motion to open the public hearing.
At 9:20.
It's only 9:20.
Try.
You can reach up and turn it, I guess. if
I
you
was looking at that clock and looked at you. Trying to get the heck back to the phone line.
Sorry.
That's a new time.
Another place to be, Chris?
Yeah, I do.
Done taking corn parties out
What?
there.
Done picking corn? Back by.
I was in.
More to go.
To go out. It was.
Some people coming in.
They're
They're probably landowners,
a lot up there.
just to make sure that it goes through.
It's good.
I texted them all,
Yeah,
a week ago or so, reminding them.
yeah.
Good. Yes, I am.
Come on in.
Supervisors meeting, hopefully.
Sit down. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go, though.
We're waiting for we're waiting for 9:35 to happen.
Okay.
Because it's officially public, so we have to, our meeting is pretty well done other than this, so.
We wanted to make sure we're at the right place.
You're in the right place.
You are here.
Kind of looks like a retirement home, don't
Easy.
Careful, Bill.
it? Or a class reunion.
We don't even. Need paperwork.
You need to go ahead on that.
So we need to do that.
Well, before officially, we have to have. So we'll sign it.
On the public hearing.
Mhm.
Came out of
The only thing is, I can have the notice that we typed out, put that on a piece of paper and have you guys sign it.
They want to be here,
That'd be great.
because I think we need to
To sign that,
have something
sign, okay.
special on a public hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, we probably should have put the 7 parcels or not, and then with all 3 of our signatures.
So what I'll do is I'll get the public notice that we printed in the newspaper.
Yeah.
For us, only I would.
All 3 of us should sign.
Yeah.
that way.
I'm just bringing that.
That's good.
Being. it's everything.
I had this that I had from last week.
For the public.
Like that. I think it was just a report of our meeting.
I wonder if we could use this to.
That you're approving. that you're-
Because that's the partials, right?
Yeah.
We have to just have something. Come on in, have a seat. There are seats, toward the back, if you'd like.
Something different.
Maybe.
This is Selena. You're not gonna be able to?
Well,
We did not get it.
Oh, I mean, if I could send it to this.
Probably,
There is one. I'm the only bird.
once you send it, I'll send this.
Had somebody
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
And that way,
Yes.
because this one here, this one not print through.
Yeah.
Cindy's will print through.
let's see what her email.
Oh,
Email
But
to
I
her.
was listening to some more.
Hi, come on in. There's seats, toward the back.
Well, and, you'll use you, that's what you're on.
Right.
yes. I don't have
We didn't. have
anything
paper.
that's started.
Yeah, we don't-
I have on-
no,
Okay, that's fine.
We have to,
That's all I have.
we can sign
Yeah.
all 3 of us.
And that was just something I came up with for this meeting, but I don't know, like,
Looks at.
I just typed that up for myself.
Okay,
So I hope that's
yeah, that's
good
good.
enough.
Yeah, it'll work. Thank you.
Right.
I didn't know if everybody's names, so I can go around and say their name.
Okay, before we get, let's go through, names, since it's gonna be a public meeting, it's probably gonna start on.
We have Port Road.
Chairman yourself.
John Murphy. David Roberts. Troy House.
Little small.
Randy Four.
Randy Schlutz.
Amy Kerr.
Thank you. We still got, about 8 minutes, we have to wait, 9:35. So we're gonna get the same.
No, put it in the notes, because it's just gonna be in our notes.
Scared.
Yeah, it's just- and then I wrote down for the public hearing on October 13th. For these above parcels. And just use that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Who are you?
Say what?
Who are you?
Who am I anymore?
Everybody else had to tell who they were. I didn't know. You don't have to.
I know who you are.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know.
We ain't telling.
Hey, Sean, did you hear when they's gonna start on that roof over the jail area?
I did not, I talked to him. Week,
No, you.
TK, I think it's
Yeah.
TK roofing, right? And, I signed it, he wanted he said he was sending a contract, have we seen that?
Just the contract that the bid,
Okay.
the signature line, I
He-
just have Brad sign that. and send off.
Selena sent me an email, said they were gonna send us an official contract,
haven't
but I
seen
took a
it.
copy of, he asked me to take a copy of his quote, and I signed it and sent it back to him, so he had something. But he said, Selena said he was sending a contract.
The only thing we have was the
Yeah.
bid, so
I'll
I
call
had
him,
Brad
I'll call
sign
him,
it.
double check on it,
Yeah.
find out what's going on. But I would assume he acted like pretty soon, so. Of course, we had the weather do a quick change on us.
Right.
It's supposed to warm back up again, though, they said. Hopefully we get a little window here and
Which I didn't know.
ambient temperatures 50 and above was fine on sealant, so.
Your voice. Basically, like, yeah, you told me that. That's what's going. We have a conversation after you, know. Well, what's for what, you know? I knew it was gonna be this part, I would have bought out.
You're too late.
I'm looking for it.
Oh, you're, yeah, we gotta have some stop doors here.
Yeah, things. Kind of hard to put the times and everything, like, you don't know somebody's gonna go over it.
Usually. I don't think go on for that.
Oh, what?
Well, I can bring up, tomorrow starts voting in office at the auditor's office. 8 AM.
I was hoping yesterday.
We had some trouble with the phones or something, I think it was, but yeah, it's open.
It's 9:35.
And I'll make a motion that we open the public hearing for the sale of 7 parcels owned by conservation.
I'll second that.
Public, hearing is now open.
Now it's time for comments, good or bad, or for or against.
How about we have Jacob kind of give us an overall why we're here, so that some people in the room that aren't privy to this information, because we've been through this a couple of times.
Yeah, all good. So the conservation currently it's listed on Beacon as we own it, but, we own the land, 7 parcels along Highway 70, north of Columbus Junction. It was old Hoover Nature Trail. It was owned by Hoover Nature Trail Inc. And then their business or whatever it was went bankrupt. And so then the county then acquired all these parcels of land across a very long parcel or a long section of the railroad. Recently we've sold some parcels south of Highway 78 Rolling Sun to the adjacent landowners. And so what we're gonna do here is on the north side of the county, it's the same exact thing. We're just gonna go to the adjacent landowners here, and I think we've got a large majority. And we're gonna say, you know, we're not gonna manage this as a nature trail. We have very few, they're literally, I think, your guys' front yards. So it'd be not impossible, but it would be not necessarily worth pursuing these exact parcels to make them into the Hoover Nature Trail. It's not the sense that we don't necessarily want a trail, it's just these exact parcels, unlikely at best. So yeah, that's about it.
The board move forward.
The conservation board voted that they didn't want these pieces anymore and that they would like to move forward, getting rid of them and selling excess land.
These parcels, I'm not sure that they even connect.
No, they
There's
don't.
spaces in between. It looks kind of like a dashed line, and
And they're like
to go back and acquire the other ones in between it just didn't seem to be physically responsible to do that. So it was the board's decision to go ahead and contact the landowners and offer it to them. So,
They're very small. We're talking 0.39, I think. I don't have that paper.
0.29 acres on about all of them.
Yeah, they're all very, very small. And they're chunks.
There's a Bell Properties not here,
He's not here.
he's an absent landowner, or,
Well, I have a feeling that he's out of town,
okay,
and I'm assuming his secretary didn't have time to come or something. So I would fill him in on whatever we learned here today.
okay, well, that's good to know.
And pretty much everybody here is in favor of buying that chunk in front of them. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that there's nobody against it? It's
I think the vast majority of them thought it was theirs anyway.
Yeah. That was a big spot.
From what we kind of
I
gathered.
never heard that part.
They were a little surprised to get the letter.
Sean, you said that these are in kind of dashes across, what happened to the other parts?
That's a good question.
Tax sales.
No, I think a few of them got sold 20 years ago. A couple different individuals got the supervisors or conservation
So
to sell them, and then
It was before that. It was when the Heritage Railroad owned it,
okay,
and that's when these folks. At least up by my house, that's when they bought. Well, we didn't buy because we thought. How they gonna give it to us anyway, you know, well, we were mistaken, we should have bought it.
And I think that's where a lot of confusion lies, just in general with the Hoover Nature Trail, was like the parcels south and the parcels north. Everyone just assumed that, you know, some people bought and some people didn't, and it just dashed line the whole thing.
I actually bought mine for taxes. And it went through the year till the next year. And then whoever owned it redeemed it gave me my $4 back plus interest. And retained it somehow, I don't know, anyway, I didn't own it.
Yeah, cause I seen 5 years ago, some of these lots was on that was up for tax sale. I seen that when that list came out. So, no, it'd be good to get these all back in your guys' hands, so, yeah.
You guys have mowed them, kept them look nice, kind, thank you.
Yeah.
Been on them for
Yeah.
about 40 years.
Yeah. You wonder when squatter rights start to kick in, right? Well, and it helps that, I think that helps conservation on just shoring up some stuff that just really doesn't make any sense for the conservation to have.
And the idea is we take any profits that we get selling the little parcels to connect the big parcels.
Yeah.
Or big chunks. I guess they're not all parcels. I shouldn't use that word. The big chunks. So
Yeah.
it's not like you're just pocketing them and gonna buy a truck.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no.
Wait, maybe.
Question on this, how do you decide the prices on these? Because I know of Old Morning Sun, some of them property owners was not happy. And some of these deeds on these railroads are, goes back to where it goes back to the original order, blah, 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 I don't know what he said. But other property the county owns, they sold for $1 to get it back on a tax base. But we seem like we do a couple of different things here, one property would sell $8,000 for 100 foot by 50 foot, and the next one will get $1.
We understand that this is the same value as the Morning Suns.
That's correct.
So we
You know
used,
what?
Same value set on these. They're just smaller areas. That's why it looks like smaller.
Why wouldn't you give it back to them for $1 like you have county roads and other lots in Louisa County? Here and there that you put it
I
on
don't know
tax
many of
base,
them we give
they
back.
kept it up over the years, why charge them?
Do you remember any of them we give $1 in your rate? In my rate, we never. have.
Your range, but you gotta remember, this county's been here for a lot of years, been a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
It is, but just because you get a new board, don't mean you raise the prices or you.
He's been on for 20 years.
And you never sold it,
16.
and you never sold a lot for, because I know a lot of them back before you resumed, that they did. I just, you put it on a tax base and all this, so why would you wanna charge them? And besides that, some of the, like I say, the old railroad titles say it reverts back to the landowner. I don't know if these guys, I've never looked into it. I think they went with the Morning Sun did. And you still charge it, but it's easier.
There is some of them that said that when they went bankrupt, it went totally different ways. This is back in the 70s, because I remember reading that. You're exactly right. Some of them did say that they would go back when they bought them like in the late 1800s. And when that new railroad was going to come through here from Chicago, Sunliner or whatever it was called, that said it would be deeded back. And I think that probably was because that was all done in the early 1900s. I'm not for sure, but
I don't know what a lot.
I know that it's deeded back to the properties that this did fall through, but I don't know what this other.
To me, if they took care of it all these years, why penalize them again with the cost that they could have brought it for taxes? Apparently at one time.
no, this isn't,
This is what
this isn't the
conservation
board, this isn't
brought
the,
to us.
but this isn't the board's property. This is the people of the county's property.
Yeah, absolutely.
Technically.
People in the county is the ones who receive it and pay taxes on it. So this is increasing your tax base where this is what you want.
Yeah, only $4.
So it's doing a county and a conservation.
How are you able to just sell it outright to them without publicly, because of this meeting, Robin?
But
The adjoining landowner part of the.
there's a right of first refusal, so it basically they're gonna. Means they're adjoining landowner, and if they don't choose to, that's fine, then we'll go ahead and sell it.
I'm for it, I
Yeah.
just was curious how you could,
They do that.
how you can sell, pick and choose who you sell it to.
I'm different, man. This wasn't just.
That's how we
stated that
decide.
They don't want it to offer at a sealed auction. If the landowners adjacent to it do not want it, then it goes up to a
Where
sealed
did that
auction.
come from?
Conservation board.
Yeah, board,
Conservation Board's letter. I don't know if you ever seen it or not.
That's my fault.
What's the price of it? I didn't hear that.
Looks like it's at, looks like 3,130. Was that per acre? Is that what they have?
I'm pretty
I
sure
think
that's
it's
per
it's
acre.
per acre. Yeah, per
Take
acre. I
that
think it's
down.
30, 75, and then with this being just a quarter of an acre, it's all that prices came on that. This is all done by the conservation.
And they being a public entity, just like you guys, can pick and choose who to sell it to.
Good question.
You know, I want these guys to have it, I just.
You're not interested in buying a little square?
Things like we got in trouble for before, not the same, but different. Pick and choose them, did you get your attorney to say, yeah, that's fine, what they choose to do, or? I mean, I hate to pay an attorney to say, yeah, that's fine, but I just don't understand how you can sell public land, pick and choose. Who you're selling it to for
They did it to you, did they, Bill?
X number of dollars.
Didn't they do that to you, Bill? Not public, right? County, right? County, well, that's public.
Well, it's,
Public. Well, you're right. Yeah.
I hate to throw muddy in the water, but I just.
Well, I don't think there's anybody that don't want it, that landowners that join it, to see it, but cover your butt. So down the road, somebody don't say, we didn't do it. There was a board 20 years ago that did this. You know, I've heard that a lot.
We run into it a lot,
But you're still responsible for what the board did 20 years ago. You got the right to change things, you got the right to do different things, you got the right to make it right.
Right.
But you choose not to in some instances. I'm crossing threads here, I'm sorry.
I understand. I think in this particular instance, it's the right thing to do.
I don't think there's anybody
Right.
that says it isn't the right thing to do, but how about Chris Ball comes up 10 years from now and go, you know what? I wanted that for my go-kart track. I like you using Chris.
I see that.
Have no sweet cream on it. Water. on it.
It's going on a quarter acre.
I think
well, let's keep. Moving on here,
Well, the only one we need, that's really a question, the one that's not here to represent.
Contact
Yeah,
them
they'll
via phone
contact
if you
them.
like to make sure they're not opposed to anything. But this is the opportunity for people to oppose if they.
Absolutely.
I can choose to.
I kinda got a question, I don't know. Why couldn't we buy it? For the same amount of money that these other folks bought theirs for 20 years ago, or 25 years ago,
Who's they?
our neighbors that own it. I mean, maybe you don't have any way of figuring out what that was. It should be. In the courthouse, shouldn't it? I mean,
Oh, there'll be a record of it.
yeah, there'll be a record of it.
But they bought it from somebody else, make the heritage. Hoover Nature Trail, is that who they bought it from?
Someone bought it from the railroad and.
Yeah, I don't know for sure.
Different ownership.
Someone probably bought it for taxes.
Yeah,
Probably been the things is where they
I
brought
don't
it.
think so. I don't think anybody bought it for taxes. Because they came back a year later and they paid the taxes off and we got our money back. There was several of us went to the sheriff's sale and we bought it for taxes.
Yeah.
And a year later, here we got a check for $4 and we didn't get it.
Whose name was that in? Do you remember?
I thought it was the Heritage Railroad.
So this was probably, was that in the 80s?
me,
Yeah,
I don't remember, I don't know.
because I know they had that trail that went away from Cornville and everywhere.
Yes, yeah, just get over it.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever had a trail in front of,
Not
Right.
yours, but I think they was planning on hooking it to one of.
but on north of me,
Yeah,
a ways, there was a trail.
right,
it
Yeah,
started at the Thirsty Camel and went.
yeah,
but it jumped,
jumped in different lots.
yeah, like, my neighbor to the north, Barry Franz, he owns a good portion of it. Probably at least a quarter mile long, maybe half a mile long. But he owns all of it. He bought it from a personal, I don't know who he was, but somebody had bought previous to him.
And it's not maintained anymore, is it? Up there, what I drove by and seen it, it didn't look like anybody maintains it like we used to. Cause it used to be gravelled and.
Yeah, no, there's nothing there anymore.
Yeah.
When did not too long north of Conesville?
Is it maintained at all?
I don't think so.
I don't think they would. I just drove.
I've seen it mowed about once in the last 5-10 years.
Wasn't it not too long ago that Tyson's came and bought some of that trail for their driveway or something? Few
They
years back.
leased, he gave them an easement, that,
Oh, easement?
I think to put in that gas.
Okay.
that was just for
I
their
thought they
drive.
bought some.
No.
An easement or something.
Any other comments on this?
You gotta have 3 of these meetings, how many meetings you gotta have?
We should have, we can have,
I think we need to have another one.
yeah,
You just wanna set a date then, and then I can get it published.
Yeah, we'll have to, 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, cause I'll have to get it published, I don't have it in the paper this week, so
Be November,
the 23rd, 24th, it'll be published, I can get it in there,
so 12th.
November 12th.
Okay, our next public meeting will be November 12th. And you said 9:35 again?
Yeah.
Anything else? No, take a motion to close the public.
Somewhere.
yeah, second.
Okay, the meeting is now closed.
This next meeting, will be public. I'll say,
It'd be the same thing, I guess. The topic will be, the price of the. Both questions brought up in the gallery would be whether. This is a fair price to you and the rest of the taxpayers in Washington County.
Yeah.
Do it.
we should probably,
Well, we got 3 meetings set up. We'll find out after the next meeting, see what's going on, and we'll go from there. But yeah, we're set up to 3. Yeah.
But while you're here, all of you were okay with the price of the conservation. But if it was cheaper, you just like you're.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess looks like our next discussion is what's fair to the taxpayer, whether you get it for $1 or for this proposed price.
November 12th.
okay,
All right,
Okay,
that's it.
thank you all.
that's it. Thanks for coming. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you.
Any other business? I don't
No,
see
I-
any.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Meeting adjourned.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Food, right? Yeah, you do.